So welcome back, everyone. My next guest is David Fisher. He's the CEO of Landmark Capital. David, you've been away for a little while. You were in Hawaii. Welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you for having me on your program, as always. It's my pleasure, as always.
And you know what? Tell everybody, since, it's been, a month maybe or so since you've been here. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you're on radio. You've had your own radio show. You've been coming on here for a long time, and what we're going to talk about today.
Besides the obvious laying on the beach part-time. No, I'm just teasing you.
Jeez, no. I feel sorry for you.
My wife thoroughly enjoyed Hawaii, but now we're back to reality, as they say. But a little bit about myself. I've been in the precious metal industry for 23 years. I've had my own radio program, like you said, here in Phoenix, and it's called The Market Closed. I used to do the market capitalization of what was happening every day in the market and give the synopsis of that. I've been on lots of radio programs. I'm currently on around 2 million listeners on a weekly basis now, over 175 to 180 stations. And I'm in the process of writing a book on my topics that I've been talking about in seminars and also on the radio with you. But I think the greatest thing that I think is most important to me is our integrity and how we treat people. And because of that, we have a Better Business Bureau rates us as an A+, and we're accredited members, and we're here to help people. And we believe in education. We believe in empowering people with knowledge, because people are smart enough to make their own decision if they can weed through all the nonsense and get to what the truth is, and then they can say, this is for me, and here's why. So that's what we'd really do, is we empower people with facts and knowledge.
Absolutely. And you love to do that. Yeah. You also do giveaways. And real quickly, if you want to talk about some of the different things, your white paper that you've written, I don't know if there's a new one out yet. I know you've written a lot of them because of all the different stuff. You also tell them a little bit about what it is that you offer, and then we're going to go into what we want to talk about today. We
have a full fledged packet that people can understand, what precious metals does. The things that really that drives people towards precious metals is really what we talk about. And probably the biggest thing in there it's in this 5th edition is a thing called the coming bail-in, which is what has happened in Europe, predominantly in 14 countries, where they chose to deal with their upside-down debt structure by seizing their citizens' assets, pensions, and bank accounts in Cyprus, Poland, Ireland, Spain, Portugal. I can list them all. It's happening, unfortunately, in America. We thought it never would, but our country has moved that direction. They passed a law in 2010 called the Dodd-Frank Act. So this 8-page piece of documentation called the white paper is full of factual data on, unfortunately, how our country is moving the same direction, because now our country looks at your money and my money as their money, and this is the result of being influenced by European banking system and what happened in 2008. In fact, if we would have had that law, the Dodd-Frank Act, Carol, we probably would have already had a bail in our country. So we're moving towards it. We talk about how to save yourself from a big grief of that. The Wall Street Journal talks about wanting to have 52 to 76% of your money is what they interpret by the International Monetary Fund as the report on how this would work in America. And there's a paper that goes with that and how you can roll over your IRA into physical precious metals, or your 401k into physical precious metals, and take possession of it without a tax liability. And one thing that separates us from many others in reference to that is the fee structure.
That's what I want to talk about. It's phenomenal. Go ahead.
Most lawyers, the ones that I've done the research on, my competitors, they charge somewhere between $9.95 to $19.95. We use a lawyer who's done thousands of these for us for the last 5 years I've worked with him. And $385 out of state, $350 in state. So it's very cost effective.
Now, our lines are open here. We want to give everyone this information. Everyone should have it. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You could check him out on landmarkcapital.com, right? Is it still just that one, or have we changed it?
Landmark Gold.
So it's, that's right. Landmark Gold, it's right in front of
It's
Landmark
always been
Gold.
landmarkgold.com.
Okay. So landmarkgold.com, his number direct is 602-287-9200. You can also call in here if you have some issues you want to talk a little bit about, you can too. Again, 602-277-5369. So today's topic, what's going on? Because you said you were going to ring some bells today.
I don't know if I'm going to ring. I'm going to probably rattle the people's cage a little bit. I don't like to do that, but you know, there's so much information coming out always. If you look just in the right places, and we don't have to look far anymore. It's always there. It's just, I don't know if most people probably didn't connect the dots, but there's a major problem that's been happening in Europe called Brexit. Now we're kind of on the outside of that, but there's something that's still brewing in the undertoning of Brexit. It's the largest bank in Europe and one of the 5 largest banks in the world, and it's Deutsche Bank. They've been having all kinds of problems. Their stock has fallen 43% year to date. There's 2 CEOs have stepped down. They got downgraded to a triple B rating in their bond status, which is the same rating that Lehman Brothers had before they collapsed. So you would think that enough is enough, but Deutsche Bank got hit really hard on Friday. There was a lawsuit that happened that was issued in May of 2011 from the Department of Justice against a lot of banks. You know, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs. Bank of America was issued a $16 billion lawsuit, and what I'm going to tell what Deutsche Bank is doing. Goldman Sachs paid $5 billion in a lawsuit. Citi paid $7, and JP Morgan paid $13 billion. $7 billion, 13. That's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
They survived, but they had a hard time because they had government support. We bailed them out. Deutsche Bank hasn't got a bailout, and they won't because the law forbids it on the way the euro is set up. They're cash strapped right now, and they're probably, in and of itself, they don't have much revenue coming because look what's happened in their country or in that region, plus what's been going on. So they did the same thing that all these other banks did, which was they falsified information. They put good loans with bad loans, bundled, you know, the mortgage-backed securities. They also manipulated the LIBOR arm, which is the London index that loans are written by. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac write loans off the LIBOR, which is the London offered exchange rate. But they also were found guilty in manipulating the gold and silver prices, which was a big kudu or a big feather in the cap for my industry. They helped manipulate it down in 2012 when it was breaking through almost going to break through probably $2,000. It peaked out at 1905 in gold. So as a result of that, there's a big, hefty fine, and they don't have the money. $14 billion. The Department of Justice came out and said, we'll negotiate with you on this on Friday. Their stock plummeted 8% within the hour. And they only set aside $6 billion, $6.1 billion for what they thought would be the negotiated settlement. So there's a pretty big gap between 14 and $6 billion.
Where do they get it?
They don't have enough money. If they go under, Carol, and I've been saying this, we will have massive financial calamity. It will be much bigger than 2008 because they're 3 times bigger than Lehman Brothers. They're bigger than JP Morgan, which is 2.5 times bigger than Lehman Brothers. They're leveraged 4 times greater than Lehman Brothers. And they're 30 times bigger by the what you call the connection of asset called systemic risk. According to the International Monetary Fund, they are the largest systemic risk bank with the least amount of capital in the world today, and they are struggling to stay alive.
So what do we do? Before we go to a break, please tell us.
Get some money in precious metals. Get some money in cash out of the bank. Protect yourself. I don't know if they're going to go under. I hope they don't go under because I love our country. It will affect our country. You say, we're over here in America. No, we live in a global systemic society. What happened here in America with Lehman Brothers affected Europe, maybe even more so than us. We are not immune, and if we were, then Brexit wouldn't have happened, wouldn't have done nothing for the markets. It affected the market. When China hiccuped, it affected the market. If this goes under, I guarantee you it will affect the banking system and the markets in the United States, and it could be the thing that might trigger this bail-in.
All of these things you can find out on his website. It's all substantial information, and it's landmarkgold.com. His phone number direct at 602-287-9200. Our lines are open here. We want everyone to have his white paper that he's written for everyone. It's the coming bail-in, how to avoid it from affecting you. Also the information on your IRA and having physical metals and taking possession with no tax liability. He does it better and also less expensive than anyone out there. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Check him out. It's landmarkgold.com.
Traded it all. if I gave it.
So welcome back, everyone. We're going to have an exciting second half of David's show now. We were talking about at the break, and we were saying how we want to talk a little bit about what's going on with the feds and this and that. So let's talk about that real quickly.
Well, the Deutsche Bank isn't the only problem that's in bank that's in trouble. The Federal Reserve, or the Fed, is backed himself in the corner. You know, a lot of people are asking me, I've been on radio a lot this week, asking me, is the Fed going to raise rates? The answer is no. They're not going to raise rates tomorrow. I've been saying they're probably not going to raise rates, and everybody says, why aren't they not going to raise rates? I'm not saying they shouldn't raise rates. They should raise rates because we're well below what you call normalization of rates, which is 5.33% is the normal rate. They're trying to get to 3 or 4%. They can't even think about how bad the economy is. They talk about raising it a quarter, and they keep doing this head fake. Will they? Won't they? And they've been doing this since January. When they announced in January they're going to have 4 rate hikes this year. They haven't had one.
Right.
And when they had the last one, December 18th of last year, they did it a quarter of a point, and it shocked the markets. The Dow was down 2,000 points in 2 weeks because it can't handle a rate hike because there's no fundamentals.
So why do they talk about it?
Because the world is saying, get back to normality. You're influencing, you're artificially supporting the economy, and there's a lot of people or economists who believe that the Fed has overstepped their boundaries and they're taking on a role that they should have never taken on, because the Fed is only supposed to do one thing or a couple things: flow of money and dictate interest rates, but not influence markets. They're clearly influencing the market.
Yeah.
That is not the role of the Fed. Influencing markets? Of course not, but they are. And so this is why they're having a hard time getting back to normalcy, because when they raise rates, they're going to influence the market.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to get ready for something really exciting, right? I am so excited about this, and everyone get ready to start calling. First of all, tell them what you're going to do as a giveaway. This is going to be really neat, guys. Go ahead. This is something special he's doing for us.
I know we're on the radio, so they can't see this, but you can.
It's beautiful. It's very shiny.
I have a silver Morgan dollar in my hand, and I'm going to give it away. I'm giving 21 of them away, in fact. Let me explain how and why and the criteria for it. A lot of people have heard me talk about protecting your money. And so this is for the first 21 callers, because they minted this coin from 1878 to 1921. So celebrating the last year, we're going to give a free coin away to each caller, which is it's an uncirculated Morgan dollar. It's pretty, isn't it?
It's beautiful. I want one. Can I put my name in?
You can have this one when I'm done, okay? To people who are concerned about their money. They have a 401k, they have an IRA, or something like that, or have stocks or money in the bank. They've heard my voice. They've heard us talk about this. They've never called. This will help them see what it's like to get something like this in their hands.
And also to take possession of your money. Start with this
Now,
Morgan.
let me tell you why this coin. Because this will understand the full circle of this.
Because I can't wait to give out the number.
This is the first time that this a silver dollar was minted since the Civil War that brought our country together. They took off. Our country is divided. They took off "In God We Trust" off our coinage during the Civil War. And some people who are religious orientated believe that we should have come back together. We are one nation under God. And I believe that, okay? And I know you do too. This coin, they put the motto back on it as "In God We Trust."
Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. We've got 21 of these silver Morgan dollar from 1878 to 1921. 21 people are going to win them. So give us a call here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone, just keep on calling and keep on calling throughout the rest of the show for it. How fun is this?
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit more about this. Our country's divided. This coin, unique about this coin, in the crown of the coin that the Lady Liberty is wearing, which represents the Statue of Liberty, there is a piece of cotton representing the South as the predominant agricultural, and in the North, a tera of wheat. And so they said, well, let's bring our country together. And historians that talk about the design of this coin say where the motto is above. Look at it, right above the eagle head.
I see it. Oh, yes.
Okay? This is put there for the first time in history because it brings symbolism that God is over our country. And is bringing
God is over us at all times.
Exactly. So this is a very historical coin. It wasn't popular at the time. It wasn't understood, but the people that designed it was done with purpose. I want our country to come back together more than anything else.
So do I. Don't we all want that?
I do. I mean, I really do.
We could just talk about this all day long, our country coming back together. Forget about all the rest of the stuff.
Because of that. It represents memorability. It represents history, who our country really was founded on. And that's what's woven into our society, into our money. And I want to help people bring our country back together. It's going to take some time because our country is severely divided. And I hope that whoever gets in office does not go and take us the other way that has happened in Europe called this bail-in. That's what this coin represents. If they can't do this, and I don't know if they're going to do it in a short period of time, protect yourself just in case.
And start with this coin. And it's a silver Morgan dollar, 1878 to 1921. We've got 21 people that are going to win it. I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show because we kind of did this now. How much fun is this for you guys? I know our lines are on fire. Please do me a favor. If you can't get in, just keep on calling 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. We will try to get to everybody. Also, for everybody that's listening, please check him out. It is landmarkgold.com. His phone number direct. He does free consultations with everyone. He's all about educating. He's all about giving. That's what he's all about. And I love this man. The number to call is 602-287-9200. And I can even say that, even knowing your wife is probably listening. Because you know what? You are probably one of the nicest, your whole family are one of the, both of you are the nicest people. And you really are out there to educate everyone. Mm-hmm. And I love what you said about we want to bring this country together.
Yeah, I love my country.
I made him cry.
I love my country. I hate what's happened to it and what they're not doing to fix it. And unfortunately, whoever gets in office, and I'm going to be on your program on Election Day talking about this.
We're going to be having fun.
I already got it planned what I'm going to say, but just an excerpt from that. And I have a lot of hope for our country, but unfortunately, whoever gets divided, we have a divided system called Congress that doesn't seem to like to work together, except for I'll say it today. When it came about talking about what's going on in the banking system, they work together today. And I don't know if a lot of people are understanding what I'm saying, but we have some major division in our country. They came together today, but unfortunately, now it's going to look like, hey, the bigger the government is, because they finally came together, the more it's going to get better. Because what they came together about was slapping hands on bad banking practices. But the problem with what they've done is they think that if we have more government interfering or bigger government legislating business, it doesn't always work that way. And that's how the Dodd-Frank Act came about. So make sure that people that call in for this free coin giveaway, they also get the information, because that goes hand in hand.
Oh, they get that no matter what.
Yep.
Everybody gets that no matter what when they call in.
Absolutely.
Here. Now, also, I want people to understand that what we want to do is not trying to frighten anybody.
No.
What this is all about is learning information, but let's all take control of what we can take control of, which is we can take control of our money.
Absolutely.
Why leave it in there?
Yeah.
Why not get something like put your money into gold, diversify? That's what it's really all about. That's what you're saying. And be in control. Go ahead, real quickly.
They're probably never going to back our currency by gold or silver, so do it yourself. Take control of your money by doing that, so now you're protected. You also probably might have the best investment because gold's up 25% year to date this year. I've been saying on the program in January earlier this year, 15 to 30%. I'm right on the money with the target. I'm going to say another 5, possibly 10% before the end of the year. This is a still great time because we're in a bull market in gold. We're going to be in a multi-year bull market in gold. I don't have all the things to share with you in the reports, but I'm going to get on your program and probably give you all the reasons what third-party people who do not talk about gold are saying why we're in a bull market in gold. We're going to be talking about that on your program coming up.
Well, let's all take control of our money. Let's all come together as a country. Let's start with this silver Morgan dollar. It's 1878 to 1921. I'm going to let everyone keep on calling throughout the rest of the show. We've got 21 of them that we're going to give away, and you're going to get the packets that go along with it. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. It's absolutely stunning stunning. It really is. It's shiny. It's beautiful. I love what it says on it. It made me want to cry. Again, 602-277-5369. What are your final words today?
You know what the best thing about it?
You gave it to me.
It's yours.
Aw,
What's that
I
feel
love
like?
that.
Tell me what that feels like when you hold it.
It feels heavy. It feels perfect. It feels like it's mine. I love it.
Okay, I got a dollar bill. Would you rather have that?
No, I love this.
See what I'm saying? Gold and silver holds the test of time.
It's absolutely beautiful. Please, everyone, give a call here. We're giving 21 of them away. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Check them out. It is landmarkgold.com.